Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has warned Greece over competing claims over energy around the disputed island of Cyprus. I sat down with the President of the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus, Mustafa Akinci, to ask him what he thinks about the prospects for peace on the contested island.
A solution which will envisage our freedom, our political equality, and our security. And security for all, freedom for all, and political equality for all.
Mustafa Akinci, thank you so much for speaking to TRT World. It's been 35 years since the events in Northern Cyprus, since the formation of the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. How has TRNC fared in these 35 years?
Well, as you know, due to the unwillingness of the other side, we had to declare the independence of our republic. Before that, as you know, we had the Turkish Federate State of Northern Cyprus, in which I was the youngest member, by the way. But after so many trials that we couldn't reach to an agreement, we had to form and establish the TRNC. But even in that declaration, we kept the door open to an eventual federal setup, depending on the political will and determination of the other side as well. But unfortunately, so far, we couldn't see that. So on the one hand, of course, we are trying to keep up with these situations surrounding us. We are trying to develop our economy. We are trying to develop our democracy into a more modern way. And we also want to keep the option open for a solution. So two things goes parallel. On the one hand, we try to develop our system. We want to make all the necessary reforms, economic-wise, social-wise, political-wise. And at the same time, of course, we want not to shut the doors for a possible solution if and when the other side comes to their senses, so to share power and wealth with their neighbors.
But time seems to be running out. Mevlut Çavuşoğlu, the Turkish foreign minister, has come out and he said that other options beyond this current course need to be explored. What is he alluding to, and will, more importantly, it be acceptable to you, because you have said that this is the only way?
Well, let me be very open on this. If there was any other options on the table, I would be the first person to know about it. First, the Greek Cypriots wants to keep the status quo. They want, in a way, to show that they negotiate, but in fact, they want the continuation of the status quo, which is not to the benefit of the Turkish Cypriots. The only option under the UN parameters so many years has been kind of a bizonal, bicommunal federation on the basis of political equality. The problem is not the parameters itself. The problem has always been, and still is, the mentality of the Greek Cypriot leadership. Recently, the Greek Cypriot leader came out with the idea of decentralized federation. First he said loose federation, then he said decentralized, meaning that this time he wants less power in the center, more power in the federated states, in the constituent states. We are not against the idea. I am on record saying that as long as our political participation, our effective participation in the decision-making process within the framework of the remaining competences for the federal government, we are ready to discuss. We have been all along insisting to have more powers for the wings, whereas the other side constantly wanted to have more powerful center. Now they came out with this idea. We said, okay, as long as there is not an open-ended process to take another 50 years, because, mind you, the negotiations on Cyprus has been going on since 1968, which is 50 years. We don't want another 50 years to continue on like this. They need to show political will and determination like we, the Turkish Cypriots, have shown back in 2004 during referenda, as we voted to 65% yes, but they refused this Annan plan with 75% no vote, like we showed in Crans-Montana. That again, they couldn't come to an agreement. So, you know, to say that there are many options that we can discuss, it doesn't seem realistic, because what is at hand is the bizonal, bicommunal federal setup.
So what is Mevlut Çavuşoğlu talking about when he talks about these other options?
Like too many people, Mr. Foreign Minister is also fed up with the attitude of the Greek Cypriots. And he also is trying to understand what the Greek Cypriot leader is really seeking for. Because we have learned that during Crans-Montana negotiations, that both myself, Mr. Anastasiadis, and Mr. Çavuşoğlu were present. Mr. Anastasiadis aired some views with him, as if he would be inclined to try to form a two-state solution. When I met with him in April, on 16th April this year, I questioned this, whether he is really for a two-state solution. And he went around the issue. He didn't say anything concrete. At the end of the day, I put him a very concrete question. Say, is it on the agenda or not? I need to know it. As your counterpart in the negotiations, I need to know it. He said, no, it's not on the agenda.
So he's talking to you beyond the agenda, offering something that isn't present in the agenda or for the discussions that were specified.
No. What he has been saying all along is what we know they are on the agenda. He has not mentioned anything outside the agenda.
But you're saying he's selling different things that might not be true, or in this case might not apply. When it comes to two-state solution, for example.
He said so to Mr. Çavuşoğlu. This is what we know. Not to me. Not to me in its concrete terms and in its real terms that we can believe in him.
So why are they sending different messages to the Turks and to you?
Listen.
This is a problem, isn't it?
Well, the problem lies in somewhere else, but this is a kind of a rhetoric that will fade away. After Ms. Lutz will come and will try to form the terms of reference, everybody will face the reality. So Mr. Anastasiadis himself also, and everybody, all interested parties, will see the reality that what is at hand...
Including the Turks.
Including everybody. What is at hand is only what has been within the parameters of the UN so far.
Northern Cyprus's relations right now with Turkey. How would you describe this relation at this point in time?
Well, the relations has always been at the highest level. You know that Turkish Cypriots after 1963, that they were left out of the joint republic, which was established in 1960, were mostly depending on Turkey then, and after 74, still due to the embargoes and isolation policy that we have been facing all along, we had to depend on Turkey. So we have all the infrastructure investments coming in from Turkey. We have all our communication via Turkey, transportation via Turkey. So there is a different kind of a relationship. You said earlier that Turkey is the only country recognizing TRNC. That's true. But there is a different kind of dependency on Turkey. I wish that we could be more standing on our own feet. But due to these embargoes and due to the prevailing conditions as status quo, unfortunately, we still need more time. I would like, of course, to be part of the international community. And for that, to be part of the world family and to be part of the European family, because in 2004, when we said yes, in fact, we said yes to two things. One, for solving the Cyprus problem and ending the status quo, but also becoming a member of the European family, becoming a member of the EU.
What if the offer is, okay, reunify, and then you will be a member of the European Union?
Well, if and when there will be a solution. But of course...
Reunification?
Yes.
Specifically?
Yes.
You yourself said, we can't wait for another 50 years, but in this current deadlock, it doesn't move anywhere.
The Secretary General has appointed Ms. Lut to come to the island in order to try to draft a mutually agreeable terms of reference. I am on record saying what you are saying, that we don't have another 50 years. Therefore, for the first time in the history of Cyprus Security Council resolutions, or rather Secretary General reports, for the first time, a kind of a time frame and a kind of a message that the open-ended process is a matter of the past. A clear horizon we are in need of, and we want results-oriented process. This is the wordings of the Secretary General report. It is the wordings of the Turkish Cypriots leadership, actually. I have been advocating this all along. Now it became a part of the Secretary General vocabulary. It is a great achievement, if you ask me, because now when Ms. Lut will come, we will concentrate on two things. One, the essence. Second, the modality. And the modality will definitely comprise the time element. Because, as you rightly say, we don't have another 50 years to spend.
And then what happens if nothing comes off even this?
This is a very good question. This is what we, the Turkish Cypriots, also are keen and
But what is the worst case scenario? Is there a cutoff time in your mind?
Yes, there is a cutoff time. And I was put this question a few days ago, and my answer is the following. We are not talking in terms of years anymore. Maybe not in terms of weeks, but we are talking in terms of months.
An agreement on Cyprus in terms of months?
No. I am not saying agreement. I am saying the time limit that I foresee for the
So you're expecting something.
Potential forthcoming negotiations if it starts. I'm talking about months. I am not talking about the outcome. I am talking about the modality. I am talking about the time frame. Of course, I wish to see that finally we reach a solution, because I believe that it will be good for everybody. But it's not only up to me. If it was only up to me, we could do it right away, because I am determined to see this solution, because I see real benefit for everybody involved. But of course, not any kind of a solution which will envisage our freedom, our political equality, and our security. And security for all, freedom for all, and political equality for all.
You seem to be in a very sensitive and a very difficult position. Because on the one hand, you have to deal with the Cypriots, the Greek Cypriots. On the other hand, you have to deal with the Turks, who is the only country that recognizes the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. And then you have your own constituency of Turkish Cypriots. How difficult of a position are you in?
Look here, I don't feel that I'm in a difficult position for some good reasons. One, I know what I want, and I know what my people want.
What do you want and what do your people want?
I want what my people mandated me. I went to the people, to my constituency, and I put forward my ideas to them. And I said very openly what kind of a solution could be for Cyprus within the framework of UN parameters, within the framework of 11 February 2014 agreement, which had been conducted between my predecessor and Mr. Anastasiadis. And within that framework, more than 60% of the Turkish Cypriot people voted for me. So I am with that mandate, and I know what I want, and I know what my people want. My problem is not with my people or with this or with that. The problem is with the prevailing mentality of the Greek Cypriot leadership. That one, it seems that still they are not ready to share power with the Turkish Cypriots. The second, they are not ready to share the wealth with the Turkish Cypriots. That's the real problem, and we need to overcome that problem. And of course, we need the assistance of Turkey and Greece as well. Areas of interest within the context of negotiation. One is solely within the framework of Cypriots. That's why we formed two tables in Crans-Montana. On one table, we have the internal aspects of the Cyprus problem, including property, including power sharing, including territorial aspects, and including governance and everything. And on the other hand, which includes security and guarantees, there you have the guarantor countries coming in. But even there, we had our places as well. In other words, on the internal aspects, although this does not exclude our dialogue with Turkey, as a leader of the Turkish Cypriots, I need to continue close dialogue, not only with Turkey, with the political parties, with the government, with the opposition parties, with the NGOs. I am trying to do my best in order to keep them informed and share the news, what's going on with them as well. But you have to understand that on these issues, at the end of the day, it will be the Cypriots, Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots, who will have to say the last word.
Not Greece, not Turkey.
Nobody. It will be up to the Turkish Cypriots and Greek Cypriots to decide what will be their fate in a referendum. This is what happened during 2004. But this does not exclude the importance of Turkey and Greece supporting this kind of a solution.
In a supporting role.
We need to have their support. We need their assistance. We need to keep up with this dialogue. And we need to continue this to a successful conclusion.
The Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has come out and said that Turkish vessels will soon begin exploring in northern Cyprus territorial waters. These are contested areas. When you talk about looking at eye to eye with your Turkish partners, is there complete agreement on this?
Yes, we have complete agreement because we have been asking to our future potential partners, the Greek Cypriots, to form a committee with us.
But they don't agree. They say this is illegal.
In order to discuss these issues, because they agree that we have our share there, but for the future, after a solution. When is that solution? Nobody knows. Is it going to happen? Nobody knows. So they want to own themselves. For this,
they have an agreement with the Egyptians from 2003,
and with the Israelis and with others.
And Turkey says nothing doing.
And they are going ahead with a very illogical project, which instead of having a pipeline via Turkey and Greece in order to reach to European Union countries, they are opting for a longer and more expensive pipeline with Israel gas to pass from Cyprus, Greek Cyprus, Crete, mainland Greece, and Italy. Much more expensive, much more time needed, and much deeper waters in the Aegean rather than passing through Mediterranean.
What is your position as the president of the Republic of Northern Cyprus?
Regarding this?
Regarding this particular issue, and especially Cyprus saying that this is all illegal. Turkey cannot enter these waters because it comes down to claims.
Look, there are two issues here. One, Turkey claims certain areas. Turkey says that those areas comes under her territorial waters, continental shelf waters rather. And there are areas where we as TRNC are claiming because it overlaps with the Greek Cypriot parcels. So for those areas that is overlapping, we have issued permits for TPAO, Turkish oil company, to conduct seismic works on behalf of us. So Turkey now is doing two things actually. One is trying to find out whether there are deposits or not in her own areas.
EEZs?
Yes, and at the same time, we look forward that this will continue on the areas that I have just
But what if they move towards a conflict? These are contested waters.
This is what I have been telling all the time. Instead of creating tension, I am asking to create cooperation. Instead of taking this to create problems, as if the problems in our area are not enough, to add more and more problems, to show a very good example for cooperation, which will be beneficial for all Turkish Cypriots, Greek Cypriots, and for the regional countries, including Turkey and Greece. So my logic tells me that in this area, we should create a vision where instead
Who
of
have you been telling this to, by the way, President?
Ali, instead of excluding Turkey and Turkish Cypriots, it is much more beneficial for the Greek Cypriots as well to include into the equation not only Israel, Egypt, and other countries, but Turkish Cypriots and Turkey, because that will be beneficial and helpful for them as well.
Because you have the Turkish lira, but they're spending in the euros. It's a very difficult life, isn't it?
It is, yes. But we have to face it until we find a better formula. So the better formula for all is to create the conditions for peace, stability, mutually acceptable solution to our problems. And for that, we need to negotiate. We need to negotiate with good faith. And we need to negotiate what is possible to achieve. Not to think that everything can be achievable and not to serve for the continuation of status quo. Status quo is containing threats and danger in itself.
President Akinci, thank you so much.
Thank you.